Hey guys, doing another video on some difficult SAT math problems. So take a look at this one. So you're given a scatter plot. Look, and the question is, it says the scatter plot can be modeled by a function. So we know it can be modeled by this function y equals ax to the b. Then it asks which of the following must be true. So we have some choices here. For choice A, we could have the a is greater than 0 and b is greater than 0. So by the way, the a and the b, they would have written that those are constants. Okay, I didn't have room here to write that, but they're constants, meaning we can clearly see that the variable x is right there. But choices are that a is greater than 0, b is greater than 0. So they're talking about, does a have to be positive or negative? Does b have to be positive or negative? So here's the scatter plot again. So of course you're going to make sure that we draw a line. What we need to do is think of what are the functions that we know. All right. Well, you know it's not linear, right? Because that's obviously curved. So what are some things that are curved? Well, it can't be exponential, right? Exponential you often think of going like this, or it could go like this. So right away by the shape, you know this one is not possible in exponential. But furthermore, it's not exponential because there's a number, we're not telling us, but there's a number in the exponent, so the variable is down here. So this is some kind of polynomial. Well, what have we got? You could say, now this is not the right answer, but if we had something along the lines of x to the 1/2, well remember x to the 1/2 is the same thing as square root of x, well that would look something more like that. Even if you made it negative, where you had negative x to the 1/2, well, all that's going to do is make it look kind of like that, but it's going to start being convex, right? Or concave, sorry, it's going up. That's going to go like that. That does not match this, so we know it's not that. So the problem with people get stuck in this, and this is what makes it difficult, this is why it's important to look at these ahead of time, is that we get stuck on, we think right away, it's like, oh, well, wouldn't it be something in the form of where it's x squared, right? Because we know x squareds, we know what they look like, right? They either go up like that, they go up and they have a minimum point, they go up both sides, or we also know that you could, if you made this a negative number in front, well then we know that you're turning it upside down, and that kind of looks like what I'm talking about here. But what about this second half here? Now this is where they get you. This is just a partial graph. So they were just showing a scatter plot, and they're just saying what would be the best function to fit this. Okay? Don't worry about the fact that it doesn't keep going. We don't even know what that data is there. And a lot of times in these scatter plots, you know, they could give us this could be the model. And then if they wanted to, you know, you basically just using half of it. Okay, so you really don't recognize it at first because it doesn't have this whole like U-shaped or upside down U-shape. It's only got partial, but it's just because it's a partial graph. So watch out for the other types of functions where they give you sketches or scatter plots that they're only giving you part of the graph. Okay, because that is often the way they'll trick you or how to hide the answer on you. So what do we got here? So the thing is that I put a negative number, okay, in where the a is. So a has to be less than 0. And then this has to be squared. Because even I couldn't even make this cubed, because if it's cubed, it has all kinds of funky shapes like that. So we know that a has to be less than 0, and b has to be greater than 0.